Thurs, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back from the episode of one of our Patreon one-shots. In another one of our, this is definitely not a campaign, and these are all just one-shots that are slightly related to each other, and you can't prove otherwise, games of Glenbrook Chronicles, a one-shot series that has its own name because it's definitely not a campaign. That being said, if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is just like these fine folks you see here before you by joining us over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're down there, click on that Patreon link. Make sure you join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. Our Patreon is up for some changes, which you will see reflected here on the streams in the coming months after I get back from some training. Go join us over there at the $5 tier. You get access to all of our after shows. You can join that tier for free for a little while. Get a free trial. Check it out. Let us know your thoughts. But with that, the last announcement is in the bottom right-hand corner, as always, is the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I don't know, eldritch horror, I guess? I don't know, something horrible usually happens. Someone dies, something explodes, a tentacle comes out of nowhere. Any number of things. But two is every single dollar that goes back into that bar goes back to this channel for all kinds of cool things like editors, producing artwork, fun things, setting up a million tweets for the upcoming Atari Midnight Show. Who knows? Who knows? Not me, that's for sure. But without further ado, let us cast our minds back to mid-1986. The year is 1986, the place New England, more specifically Rhode Island. The home of Mercy Brown, America's first vampire, the site of many dark and lurid tales from the mind of HP Lovecraft, the home of the infamously haunted Perron family, and now, the site of one of the largest government research facilities in the world, the Loop. But all of that is old hat to this crew here. The Broken Mill Gang, as they have begun to call themselves, a group of delinquents, some might say. Heroes, others might say.
Delinquent heroes.
Delinquent heroes.
Crew. I can almost do it.
They would all say.
The dynamic duo and the fruitless duo.
Yes. Pure, unadulterated chaos incarnate.
Yeah, then the ultimate duo that is Fish and DD.
That's true. A group of kids who have faced odds, strange things, otherworldly things, and have come out absolutely worse for the wear. Today's Friday, May 2nd, 1986. All of you, including Dee Dee, although in a different one, are in school. School has been strange for the past few months. 3 of you attending the high school know that amongst you walks someone else.
A lie.
A lie. A boy who wasn't.
One person.
A strange entity wearing the face of a rival and a bully. The 3 of you and a handful of other friends know for a fact that a young man named Billy Duncan died. But a mere 6 months ago. However, no one else seems to be aware of this. Because that boy walks the halls of this school and acts as though nothing strange has happened. Has no recollection of any events, does not seek you out, and goes about his normal day as if he always had. I would like to start with the 3 high schoolers, each of you rolling me an investigate roll, please.
Sheesh.
You pick better things for us to roll.
Absolutely not. Especially this group.
Investigate.
No successes for JoJo.
No successes. Dynamic duo.
Hot damn.
I was hoping I'd get 3 successes like I kept getting in the previous game, but no luck.
Danny.
2 successes on 2
Nice.
dice. 2 dice and 2 successes. Beat that.
Fuck yeah.
Danny.
I can investigate.
Danny.
It's all the, being locked up in his room and being grounded. It's like, oh, I see, I can see how it all comes together.
Danny, there's a lot going on here. Okay?
Yeah.
You
My
were
arch nemesis have a pod person walking around.
right. You were there. You were present the day that Billy Duncan died. His death
Very much
affected
so.
you greatly. You were there to watch your friends fall apart in the presence of this. You were there to watch the self-inflicted downfall of JoJo. And then one day you came to school and saw a person who you very much saw and knew to be dead, walking the halls as if nothing happened. You heard the explanation from your friends about the strangeness in the Radio Shack and the strangeness at the Johnson residence. But something has never sat right with you. You don't want to approach in any capacity that would make you a target. And you don't want to pull on any heartstrings that may affect the recently rehabilitated JoJo. But you can't help but notice, in recent weeks, Billy Duncan has been acting strange. And seemingly, you alone have caught wise. You have seen several times the school bell rings, people file out of the hallways, and as you walked into one of your classes, you could see out of the corner of your eye, enough to make you stop and sort of lean back, Billy Duncan, standing off to the corner in the hallway, just staring at a wall.
Fuck off. That's the worst.
You've seen moments where passersby in the hallway were bumping into each other, laughing and talking about their lockers. And as you walk by his locker, you've heard strange mutterings under your breath. You think you heard your friends' names. You remember hearing something weird come out of his mouth. No. Fish doesn't have a mom. And as you turn back, he looks at you in the face and continues by you, gives you a shoulder check, as if nothing ever happened. You've seen Billy acting off for a few weeks. Enough to make you uncomfortable. Enough to make you pay attention. But not enough to make you bring it to the attention of any of your friends. Until today. In the men's bathroom on the second floor of the high school, the door closes as you are washing your hands. And you hear a somewhat familiar but also surprising voice as you hear, "Hey, freak," in the dulcet tones of Billy Duncan. He stands in front of the door, the only exit out of the men's bathroom.
I think Danny just sort of, shakes his hands dry, turns around. He's kind of like a bit hesitant to look over at Billy, like always not knowing what he's going to see, but finally like turns, looks up, looks him very defiantly in back, like straight into his eyes, and be like, "Hey, asshole."
You and your friends do weird shit. He says that, and you know that there was a question there, but it definitely sounded like a statement.
We did. I don't know what you're talking about. Weird. Yeah, I mean, weird stuff happens, but it's not that we do them. More like weird stuff happens and we happen to be there,
He takes a non-threatening step towards you, and you watch as he steps forward, and then the only way to explain this is as if Elliot were explaining it to you. You watch as he steps forward, and then glitches back to the front of the door and says, "Hey, freak. You and your friends do weird
What?
shit."
You,
And takes another step forward.
you said that already. Or what is happening?
What are
And you can
talking
see
about?
Dunn is taking like a step back. His heart is going like 180 at the moment.
What are you talking about?
Who are you? What is happening here? Are we're alone, I presume. Like
Yeah.
there's no one else. Hmm. Who are you? What's going on?
The
Are
hell
you-
what does that mean? You and your friends do weird shit, right?
I guess I just explained how weird shit happens to us, and we just happen to be there. But Billy, this is weird right now.
What about it's weird?
You, you glitched out of reality like in those video games, back to the door, and then you repeated everything you said to me. The freak thing, we do weird shit. You said it twice.
Okay, dude, whatever. Listen, I need you and your nerd shit friends to figure something out.
You know what? Under any other circumstance, I would say, why should I? But currently, I'm gonna say, what?
He unslings his backpack, reaches inside, and pulls out a manila envelope, the rectangular manila envelope, and hands it to you. And he says, my dad gave this to me, and I don't know what it is,
Okay.
but I know you guys do weird stuff. I just want to know what it is."
I sort of turn it over quickly, glance at it. Is it like, what is weird about it?
It is a manila envelope. There's a large rectangular lump in the middle of it. You shake it, it kind of has a little bit of a rattle to it. And written in Sharpie on the manila envelope, it says, "For William, 10/11."
What's in the envelope, Billy?
VHS tape.
Okay. And I presume that the weird stuff is on the VHS tape?
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know. You're coming in here acting all weird, giving me an envelope with a tape like this is some kind of spy movie.
I don't know. You guys do weird stuff. I heard about some weird stuff that kind of goes back to you guys, and I just, figure it out, all right? I'll kick your ass less.
Right? You haven't kicked my ass once.
Whatever, man.
Want me to do this? You don't fight me on that.
Fine.
Good. If you excuse me, and you can see I've done it sort of giving him the widest berth he can possibly do in this space, and heads for the door. If you excuse me, I'm gonna go to my nerd friends so we can do weird shit and help you.
Yeah, get out of here.
Danny really does, the backing out of the room. He doesn't trust to turn his back against Billy for even a second. He will stand outside and look at the door close before he turns around and just books it towards the mill.
As you exit the door and you're kind of holding it open as you back away, you watch him glitch again, and you see the back of him with his backpack on directly in front of where you have the door open, and you hear, "Hey, freak." What the fuck? Whatever. And you feel the door start to pull open as he is trying to leave the bathroom.
Yeah, booking it. Definitely booking it.
You head out. School ends in about an hour, so you have to sit on this information, or take Fish and JoJo and just be a criminal and leave school. What's the worst that could happen to you?
Can I
Absolutely nothing.
Can I somehow convey a message to them before next class?
Yeah. The
Are we, like,
same
in the
way
same
everyone
class?
does in American high school is you go to the window in the door of your friend's room and you go and hope the teacher doesn't see you before your friends do.
I try to convey the message like, we need to talk Mill right after. I mean, he's not a criminal. He's not gonna skip class.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that
obviously.
important.
A reasonable
Grounded
a
forever
reasonable
if he does that. That will be an immediate call, and it will be a whole thing, and he's grounded for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, terrible time.
No,
So
but
you
he's going to try to convey the message like urgent news, Mill afterwards, immediately.
Yes, you both see Danny conveying in a sign language that can only be described as part Karate Kid, part Swedish military code words, and you assume he needs to talk to you very urgently. And then you see him run off towards a direction of his class. Meanwhile, but a stone's throw away at the middle school, we see, in a completely opposite fashion of the horrible nightmares that exist within the high school, Dee Dee, you're in middle school now. Describe to me the great day that you're having.
She's having an incredible day. When she stopped out of her home in the morning to head to school, she dropped a postcard into the mailbox. And if the camera zooms into the postcard, you'll see that it's a Speed Racer postcard. It is written out to her actual family, so the address that she lives at. And it says, "Dear Pops and Daddy-O, when you read this, I'll be gone. You will never again see the face of your beloved daughter. Truth is, I cannot abide the tyranny any further. Know that I love you and always will, if only your incessant demands for homework had not come between us. I wish you well in your future life. Your prodigal daughter, Dee Dee." And then she salutes the mailbox and she takes off on her bike.
Where are you? Where do you live now, Dee Dee? Is the question I think everyone wants to know.
Dee doesn't know. She hasn't thought that far.
Okay. Sick. Absolutely sick. Did you go to school after dropping that off?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't want to be, runaways, not trundles. It's two different. Runaways, not truant. So school plays out in its normal, mundane way. The bell rings at the high school, and a few short minutes later, it rings at the middle school, and a mass of bodies leave for both the student parking lots, the buses, etc., etc. But we see Fish, JoJo, and Danny making for a rack of bikes outside the school. And from across the little bridge that sort of connects these schools together, connects the fields adjacent to these schools together, Dee Dee, you see three of your compatriots who were at one time your cousin's friends and who have now, slowly over time, have become what you consider, at least, to be your friends. Whether it's mutual is entirely up to them. But you think they're your friends. You see the three of them, Fish, JoJo, and Danny, mount up on their bikes and begin to head off in a direction that you know is towards their secret hideout. One of the coolest places in town, the old Stillwater Mill. What do you do, Dee Dee?
Well, Fish, Dee Dee is really interested in having a conversation with Fish. So she sees her heading that way and, she has nothing else to do because she doesn't have any place to live. So she follows and quickly catches up. I think it's worth noting that today Dee Dee got a lot of looks because she's not wearing her typical red overalls. She's now wearing, she's now looking a little bit more like Trixie. She's wearing a lovely red blouse, blue jeans, and she's like, hello, 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 as she does rings around everyone.
As Dee Dee explodes into the scene, what was the conversation that was happening? The three of you have just left school, mounted your bikes. Danny has something important to say. What were you saying as Dee Dee shows up?
Okay, it's like super important, but I can't talk here. We need to get to the mill. Oh, hey, Dee Dee.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh,
hi, Mark.
oh, hi.
Hey, BB.
Hey, kid.
We're going to the
Where y'all
mill.
going?
You want to come?
Yeah, I have something super important to tell everyone. You can come, but gonna race you there. And Danny
And
does
she's already
do
gone.
that because he wants to hurry this up because he wants to get there as fast as possible.
Hell yeah. Dee Dee takes off, peeling around the corner. Danny hot in pursuit.
Yeah.
And followed by Fish and JoJo at a, I don't know, reasonable pace. As you pedal your way through the streets, you make your way to the Stillwater Mill. Your home away from home for some of you, your home that is home, home sweet home for others, and potential new home for even more. Who knows? This vagabond apartment / hideout is becoming more and more a home sweet home to some of you. You all arrive. What's that?
Is this what this non-campaign is ending up? We all just starting a hobo camp in this mill?
Yeah. It's absolutely what it is. You all arrive here and either displace from your bikes sloppily, letting them drive themselves into the side of the building, crash on the side, or properly with the kickstand, depending on how you were raised. And you make your way into the mill, where, Danny, you now have the silence, the safety, and the freedom to explain what the hell happened to you today.
Okay, guys, the most insane things has been happening, and it's been going on for a while, and then today it got even much weirder, and I don't know where to begin, but okay, first, JoJo, it's about Billy. I
Fuck that
don't.
kid.
It's super important. It's been so extra weird. I'm sorry. We need to talk about him. Like, I've been seeing him around school, and he's just standing, staring at a wall sometimes. And I can swear to you that I've been walking past him when he was standing at his locker, and he's mumbling things like our names, your names, and then it's like, oh, Fish doesn't have a mom. Just randomly when I passed by, and then it's like nothing again. And I didn't want to, bring it up and cause like a whole thing, but today I was in the bathroom and Billy came into the bathroom and he was so weird. He glitched, like in video games when like something goes wrong in all that computer stuff, and he just sort of went in and he said, oh, hey, nerd, weirdo, whatever he said, your friends does weird shit. And I was like, hey, asshole, yeah, we don't. And then he sort of just went back to the door and said, hello, weirdo, your friends do weird stuff. And it's like, I called up on, he called him on it, and he was like, no, he didn't. And then he anyway, it was super weird. It was like I was watching like one of Elliot's movies, when his tape sort of skips and he comes back, or whatever tapes does. And he gave me, and it takes his backpack and opens it, and he gave me this envelope, and he said there was some weird stuff in here that he needed help figuring out. And normally I would just kick his ass and say, "Huh, no," but I kind of want to know, so I said I would help him, and he gave me this.
So
and
where
he
is
said,
he? If we're helping him, where is he?
I
Or
didn't want
he's
to
doing it
bring
for
him
him.
here.
He's not
He's a
coming to the
good person.
hideout.
I didn't bring him here. I said I would deal with it, and then I took the videotape and gathered you here. I don't want a pod person knowing where we're hiding out. Anyway, I have the videotape. We can always find Billy at school if we need him.
So he
He was
came to
super
us for
weird.
help?
He came to me for help, which is super weird already. I'm freaking out.
What's in the envelope?
A videotape, he said. VHS tape.
She holds on her hand.
I hand the envelope over to Fish.
And so on the outside of the envelope, it says for William 10-11.
Yeah, 10/11.
Is that the date of the Nintendo tournament?
It is.
Okay. Isn't that the date that we went to the Radio Shack? And she's gonna she feels that it's a tape,
Mhm.
right? She's gonna open the envelope.
Yeah, it's already been open, so it's just sort of like flapped closed. And you slide out a black VHS tape. No stickers. Yeah.
Okay. Did but he didn't specify what he needed help with?
He said we needed to figure out weird shit, and it was weird shit. Look, I didn't know if he was coming in there to kick my ass or trying to kick my ass, so I had to kick his ass, or if what was happening. And then he came and started asking me these questions and wanted help. And then, like, he insulted me and I insulted him, and then he did the glitching thing. Did I mention that he glitched back in reality for real?
You're so cool.
Thank you.
She doesn't really know what to say to Danny, but she believes him because Danny is not a liar.
Look, maybe he's
to
not
her
a pod
experience.
person, but he could be another robot. I mean, he glitched through reality, like, I don't know, a robot. And
Is that the first time you've ever seen something glitch? Has anyone else ever glitched for you?
I don't think so. But he's been acting weird for like weeks. He stands and stares at a wall for long times. He mumbles stuff that makes no sense at his lockers and doesn't seem to remember it.
She's gonna go and put it in the in our little VHS player.
Okay. You play it?
Yep.
Okay. You see a video of the Nintendo tournament. You see people around. You see Billy at the Nintendo station. You see that he has the blaster and he's shooting ducks. And then you watch him win. And people cheer. And he like raises the gun up and he's like pumping up the crowd. And then you see him like turn towards the camera and then it cuts. And it loops over. And you see him winning the thing again. It seems to be playing on a loop. Go ahead and roll me an investigate. Or a comprehend.
This is not
Or did you say shooting ducks?
Yeah, duck hunt.
The game wasn't Duck Hunt.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
also remember Duck Hunt.
It was a karate
Yes,
game, wasn't it?
No, it was.
No,
we got to test the N64 on the Nintendo the night before, and we got to play whatever we wanted, and then the tournament was Duck Hunt.
Yeah, it was a NES, and we did Duck Hunt, and then Danny won or did very good, so he had a whole karate thing outside, which G then clipped me and Mike doing daddy karate dancing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Billy wasn't even at the thing. What is this? Are we in the video at all?
You don't see yourselves.
Like, she's like pausing it and like going slow, just so we can check all the kids. Where are we?
Yeah, it was. I was there. You were there. You were there.
Rossi was there.
Yeah,
If
Rossi was
anyone
there.
else is watching the tape, they can roll me an investigate.
I'm watching the tape. I have 2 dice. Let me show you how it's done.
Fucking
Let me show you how it's
clearly.
done.
Danny, hero of the episode.
Yeah. I
Chief
burned all my
investigator.
So this is entirely out of context for some people if you haven't seen other random episodes of stuff. But Chris, isn't it nice to have the down here chaos? You can just leave. You can walk away when Danny does bullshit. Yeah. See,
It's so
see?
good.
So much chaos down here.
The down below chaos.
Down below chaos. You watch Danny, and there's I think Dee Dee, you don't see anything, but I think you see Danny's reaction. Mostly because you're distracted by Danny for some reason that no one is quite sure of. But Danny, you watch over Fish's shoulder as she is kind of rambling in disbelief. Like, okay, we were here. Here's all the other kids that were here. We did this, right? She's trying to recall the dates of 7 months ago. And you watch, and for all intents and purposes, this is a looping video of Billy Duncan winning a duck hunt tournament. Except you realize that it's not a looping video. It is the same video shot over and over again. And you realize that because you see Billy Duncan win, you see him raise his hands, sort of pump him in the air, you hear the cheers of people, and he turns towards the camera, and then it cuts and replays. And you watch it again, and you watch it again, and he turns towards the camera, and he looks exhausted and sad. And it plays again, and it plays again, and he turns towards the camera, and he looks defeated. And it plays again, and he turns towards the camera, and he looks terrified. And then it plays again, and it plays again. And the tape ends.
That's horrifying.
Thank you.
Fish, hold it. Wait. Go back to the last end. Look at Billy's face. Look at Billy's face.
Yeah.
How did you not see that coming, Mike?
Perfect rewind Foley right there. Perfect Foley art.
Thanks,
And then-
the video.
And now, Fish, fast forward.
Spot on. Spot on.
See, look at his face. That's not the same face. This is not a loop. These are two different shots. Look at the next one in line before the tape ends.
Okay, yeah.
Look at his face. It's different.
Yeah.
Please continue to do this the entire
The
episode.
whole time. Never stop.
How long is the tape? She'd be like,
It's only like 10 minutes.
okay.
You see, he gets from like happy to tired, defeated, and scared.
Good. Fuck that
I mean,
guy.
yeah, sure, but it's different. It's weird. Look, I'm already freaked out. My heart rate is as high as it's been in months. Like, I have a less heart rate when I run those field track races. But this is super weird.
My heart rate's high too.
Have you been drinking caffeine?
Danny, as you have Fish rewind and fast forward and rewind and fast forward and pause, and Fish has stopped recounting her memory of what happened there, it's slightly quieter here. Suspiciously quiet with Dee Dee around, but we'll deal with that later. It's quieter, and you think you can hear something on the video that it was too low to hear while Fish was talking.
Sorry, question. Is this a security camera footage? Or is it like a handheld thing?
It doesn't have any obvious markers of a security camera footage.
Like it doesn't have that angle from
It doesn't
above
have
or
that weird
something?
angle. It does seem to
Okay.
be like not at like eye level, but just slightly above eye level, but not like ceiling looking down level.
Okay. Were
So
you gonna
think
say
hear
something?
Danny?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what did you say? I heard something?
Yeah, now that Fish has stopped talking, you think that there's something, there's a noise on the tape that you couldn't hear when she was talking.
Wait, shh. Listen. You hear
She
that?
she will up the volume.
Up
You
the volume
crank the
and
volume
everyone-
to a point where like the crowd is too loud. Like it's one of those like, oh, this sucks. And just before or just after he turns to the camera, right before it cuts, you hear in a low voice, restart, save state loaded, loop stabilized, subject D01 retained.
How? Guys,
Right, I don't like the kid, but they testing on him?
look, it's my arch nemesis. I don't like the kid, but this is freaking me out.
Well, remember when he was on the TV He said he was in O'Rourke's. He was in the Radio Shack, like in an AI game, ready to
Yeah,
play.
but that was a fighting game.
I know, but what if that has something to do with, like, what if that's like that came after this or something? We've heard O'Rourke's voice before. Can we tell if that's his voice?
It is.
That little old motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
English. Young lady.
Oof. Wow, that's harsh.
That old jerk. That's O'Rourke's voice. He did something to Billy.
I mean, he probably deserved it, but it's still freaky.
Whether or not he
also
deserves
opened
it or
that
not.
tank.
Like, he deserves to be like punched in the nose like you did, and then I think
Yes.
you kicked him in the shin, right? But like, he doesn't
Yes.
deserve to get like messed with by an adult. That's not playing fair.
I mean, fine.
That's
but
illegal.
Still, do you want to call the police and tell them
No,
all this?
Well-
No, exactly.
they're probably in on it,
We should go to the Radio
Probably.
Shack.
but there's nothing there anymore.
I don't know. There was some stuff there the other day.
Yeah, but it was all like blown up and wrecked.
You all hear boop, 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 boop. And the black screen that had been playing after the last loop, as you had let it run, changes to blue. And you see white text flash across the screen, and then you hear the click, 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 and the tape stops playing.
I did not like
What
that
was the
sound,
text?
If you rewind and go back,
though.
thank
She
you.
rewind it.
You rewind to the blue screen, and it says in that digital, like, 80s computer font.
She's
it
like,
says-
pause, praise my frame. Pause.
Yeah. It says reinforce block 3, emotional stabilization, subroutine, victorious memory loop.
Who's Victoria?
Victorious.
Ah, Victorious. I was
Victoria's
very
secret.
confused.
This is Victoria's secret.
Yes.
It- Guys, do you know how hard it is to speak 2 languages? Sometimes things get
Hashtag blame Swede. Oh shit. He's doing some kind of experimenting on him.
Well, you did put him in a tank.
Which is true. Look, guys, we could just stalk him and I can show you all the weird stuff he's doing. Maybe that will show us something. I don't know, but like he's acting super weird. Like he's not being his usual jerk self. He's being kind of like stuck in time loop jerk. If you understand what I mean. It's sort of like he's rewinding like in the tapes. And then he does it again, but he doesn't seem to have any recollection of doing it the first time.
But he obviously watched this tape and he wanted our help trying to figure it out.
Because it's weird. He even said that I beat him and he never beaten me as like part of the deal to help him. I mean, when would the real Billy Duncan ever do that? The guy's a jerk.
He's a jerk, but he doesn't deserve this, whatever this is. Did you see his face?
Yeah, that's, I mean, I would say that's actually fair.
If anyone's gonna make Billy Duncan look sad, it's us.
Yeah, me specifically. I'm gonna punch him.
Mhm.
So victorious memory loop, that makes sense, but what does that mean about block 3? Do y'all know what block 3 is? Have you ever seen? Is that like rooms or is it cubes?
Isn't blocks like neighborhoods here in Americas?
Well, blocks are like a group, like a section of like the neighborhood, like your neighborhood block.
Yeah, blocks.
So which one's
That's what my
3?
dad told me. I don't know.
I don't know. Emotional stabilization. Because he's getting more and more upset. That kind of makes sense. Subroutine, that's like computers. Right?
Yeah, but he was stuck in a computer game.
Yeah, Rourke
That could
did
make
a lot of
sense.
stuff with computer.
But
Remember, we found all of those weird manuals, somewhere even in Swedish, when we were in the Rourke's place. He seemed to have a lot of computer stuff.
yeah.
This is a neighborhood block. Maybe it's back where JoJo's house is, because there was weird stuff going on there, right?
That's true. That might be block 3.
That was different. Like, could be.
Maybe we need to go actually talk to Billy. Because remember when we were in the Radio Shack, right, Mike? We were in the Radio Shack with him in the TV, and I had a theory, and I can't remember what the theory was, but I told him to leave the virtual reality game, and he did. Well, he said he was going to, but then he disappeared off the TV. But then the next day, he showed up at school. But he didn't remember anything. Or at least didn't seem
He said he
to.
didn't.
I don't know. He seemed like, I don't know about that. He might have been lying about that, but he seemed to really not remembering doing all of that weird stuff he's been doing for the last couple of weeks when I talked to him today.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can ask him if he remembers having that conversation with us.
Yeah,
I think we should go talk to Billy.
He
Let's
wanted
go.
our help.
Yeah, we need more information, I think.
Where does he live?
Don't actually know.
Well, the locals, like JoJo might know, like they might know just because you tend to pick up where your schoolmates live when you're from the town, maybe.
You know,
I bet his address is at the school.
You know, he lives on the more rich side of town.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's at the dojo. Do you know when he goes to work out?
I should. Mike, do I know when he trains in the dojo? Do we train at the same time?
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, well, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I'll tell you what. At some point in time, you did train at the same time. Now, if that would have changed once he died, or came back to life, or just was an asshole and you didn't want to train at the same time as him, that's also entirely up to you. But either way, you would know what times to avoid him, so you don't show up at the same place.
I don't think Danny would avoid him. I think the trainer would have to have us separated in the group because of the fierce rivalry that started to happen in the dojo.
Like,
so
if
we
it's
do train at the same time.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's kind of like for kids, you'd be training by your class, right? So you'd be training by your belt class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he trains he's supposed to train tonight. There we go.
Right. Let's go to the dojo.
You wait a little bit of time at the mill until an appropriate time that Danny knows that it would be training time. And I feel like Danny always has a spare gi on him. So you guys...
My jacket is gi.
Of course, he wears it all the time. Why wouldn't you, as a certified karate master? You collectively head out and to the dojo, which I'm going to put you on the spot right now with your best 80s Americana. Iquin, what's the name of the dojo that you trained at?
Oh... It has to be something super American. Oh, White Tiger Dojo.
White Tiger
White
Dojo.
Tiger Karate Dojo. Yes, White Tiger Karate Dojo. And it's one of those, super Asian sort of curled tigers as the logo.
Yeah. Perfect. Absolutely. And there's lightning bolts for some reason.
Yeah,
And it's on a red
definitely.
circle because obviously it is. And it's
Yep,
that
and
typical borderline racist font that's in every Chinese food restaurant.
Yep, and the kanji, there's kanji there that's supposed to be, according to the trainer, it says sort of things like discipline, strength, and such things. And in reality, if anyone speaks actual Japanese, it just says like rice, chicken, noodles.
Perfect. You guys pedal your bikes over to the local karate dojo, thusly named White Tiger Karate Dojo, and you see arriving for class is the people at Danny's level, at and around his level. You see in the 80s in America, you see what is obviously a white dude as the sensei, because that's what happens. He is wearing swishy pants and has a very low cut tank top on, and is at the door, thusly greeting everyone as they bow and enter the sacred space, the Iron Gym, the dojo. And you see Billy Duncan's family vehicle pulling away, his dad, who you recognize and vaguely remember, pulling out. You see Billy walk to the threshold, bow, and step in and line up with the other kids. The four of you arrive here at White Tiger. What are you doing?
Hey, Dinkwad!
You're just shouting, "Hey, Dinkwad," at the school?
Well, we're cycling up, and she's gonna coast with no, not holding onto the handlebars, and she's like, "Billy Duncan, Dinkwad!"
He stops as he does the bow. He stops and turns, and sees the four of you, excuses himself, and steps out towards the curb. He goes, "What do you want, you weirdos?"
Well,
Punch
you
you in the
wanted
head.
our help.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
at the
weirdo.
gym. I told you to figure it out.
We need more
How do you think
information.
figuring it out works, Billy?
I don't know anything about it. That's why I said. That's why. Ugh,
How could you not know anything about it? You're in here.
I don't know. Listen, my dad said.
Come on. Come
he
on.
found this
We're
at
going to
work.
go around the side. We're going to go around the side of the dojo.
Why?
They could be listening.
The kids and the sensei?
Them.
Sensei. Also them.
Master Roy?
She's just going to grab him and kind of pull him
It's
along.
just them.
Okay, all right.
Don't trust anyone, dude. You learned nothing?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so what do you remember about the Nintendo tournament back in October?
I won?
Okay. So you remember that you won.
Yeah, I won. That's why
How
I have a
many
Nintendo
times-
at my house.
Yeah, how many times did you play?
I mean, you have a Nintendo at your house.
One tournament, I won it, and I got the Nintendo. That was the prize. You get a Nintendo.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I have one in my room.
That you got from Mr. O'Rourke,
Yeah.
Jerkface. She looks, because we have one too. Do you remember us having this conversation before a couple months ago in January-ish? You said you won the tournament, and I said we didn't win the tournament, and I said, hello, it's January, and you said, no, it's October. Do you remember that, by chance?
No, it's May.
I know, that's happened before.
Oh, no.
She said months ago.
Sorry, it's hard to follow your nerd stuff.
What were you doing in January?
You don't have to be mean, you know.
Thank you, Didi. We're trying to actually help you. Don't have to be mean.
Okay. In January? I don't know. The same thing you guys were at school, right? That's kind of like all we do.
Not so
here.
much.
Okay,
14,
so
we go to school, and I did karate.
Do you have anything that's weird? Like you just handed us something weird, but is there anything else that you know about that's weird or that feels weird or that you experience that is weird? Do you know anything about blocks? Do you know anything about like I don't know, subroutines or computer stuff?
Yeah. Och som Victoria.
No, I don't play with blocks. It's kid stuff, and I don't like. We have a computer at home, but it's my dad's for work.
Is it ever
no.
weird?
Is
No,
the
like
computer
blocks,
weird?
you know, like neighborhoods blocks. You're an American. You should know this.
We live on a block. What do you mean?
Yeah, do you live on block 3?
What does your dad do for work?
No one. We don't number the blocks. You live on a block. Like we don't number the. My dad works at the
He's
loop.
right, Danny. He's right. Your dad works for the Loop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you. So as a reminder,
know
you
that.
all knew that.
Yeah, we
based
do
on
know
the
that.
the birthday bash,
Yeah.
17 years ago.
Yeah.
But you don't think there's any? You don't have anything else that's weird other than this tape?
No, my dad said he found the tape. I thought it was weird that he found a tape with my name on it. I
Where-
thought it was weird that he found the tape at work. But it had my name on it, and he gave it to
So
me,
you're-
and I watched it, and I don't know.
So your dad watched it.
He didn't say he did.
Well, he would have had to.
How many-
It was sealed when he gave it to me.
Do you watch the whole tape?
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over again, right?
No, it isn't. It's slightly different every time.
What? It's just like
Yeah.
a looping video.
No,
Do you remember it?
it's that's why we asked you many times you played. That is a video of you playing several times, but the end part, the part when you turn and look at the camera, is slightly different every time.
I don't remember. I remember winning the tournament.
Did O'Rourke say anything to you? Did he talk to you?
No, he just gave me the Nintendo and said, "Good job, kid," and then I went home.
Did you read the last message
What?
on the videotape?
There's a message on it?
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
in
just
the-
the same thing over and over again. I just turned it off.
It's in the white.
Ugh. Right. I see why we are doing this.
Did you hear what they said when it looped about restarting and the loop stabilizing?
No, I just heard people cheering.
And they called you a subject.
What?
Why did you even give this? Why did you?
I
Why
heard.
did you?
I heard from some people that you guys do. I don't know who you are. First of all, I didn't give
This is
you anything.
Dee Dee. This is
Okay.
Dee Dee.
I heard from some people that you did some weird stuff. You've been seen with weird stuff, or people have heard you talking about weird stuff, and I figured this is weird. I don't understand it. These weird kids might know something.
Okay.
What do you think is weird about it, though? That's what I want to understand. Why do you think it's weird?
Don't know why this tape exists, and I don't remember being in it.
Do you remember someone walking around, possibly a work with a video camera?
No.
Okay, so she's gonna get like really sincere, like not like she's not gonna like get up in his face or like touch him or anything, but she's gonna look like she's dropping all of the name calling bullshit, and she's gonna look at him. It's like, Billy, you heard that we have experienced some weird shit, so you know. Well, at least you believe it enough that you came for our help, right? So
Yeah, I
be
guess so.
be honest with us, because we've all experienced really weird shit in Glenbrook. Have you experienced any weird shit yourself?
No.
Anything that seems out of the ordinary?
Yeah,
Like-
you know, the kind of weird shit that if you say to someone, they will say, "You're crazy." That kind of weird shit.
Yeah. Because you're probably not crazy.
The tape. Other than that, everything seems very normal. I wake up every day. The maid makes my breakfast. I go to school. School ends. I go back from school. dojo, cross
What
country.
about spending time with your friends?
What do you mean? My friends are either in the dojo, they're on the cross country team, we play sports together.
Okay, so another question. Has anything changed in your routine since you've won the tournament?
Except you having a Nintendo, like other stuff.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, one question before you answer that. How often do you play the Nintendo?
I don't know. Probably every like couple days, I guess.
Okay, so
not like a
answer my
crazy
first
amount.
question. Okay, so has anything changed in your routine since you were at the Radio Shack on that day?
I don't know, man. That was like 7 months ago.
I know. But it's important if you can remember.
I don't think so. My aunt died. Is that important?
Your aunt? What did she do
When?
for a living?
Well, I don't know.
Hmm.
I didn't really hang out with her.
Mm.
She died in like November.
When?
I don't know, like a few. Well, I don't know. They didn't find her until a few weeks later. But remember the storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, she died in the storm. Like a tree fell on her house.
She looks at the others. What's her name?
Betsy? Duncan?
Duncan? Betsy
Yeah.
Duncan.
Let's see, Duncan.
For those of you, actually everyone, well, probably not Dee Dee because it's the news and you don't seem like you care. No offense, but I feel like,
No,
given what we
you
know
have to
about Dee Dee,
concentrate.
you may remember that in December, the town reported on the tragedies of the November storm, and that one of them was Billy Duncan and his aunt, who he had been staying with.
Oh, shit. I totally missed that detail.
We should go to her house.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, we should go there.
Oh, it's just like a cement, it's just like a cement slab.
There might be
She
glue.
would. Carry on. She would fish on Fish's mystery board. Would she have kept the clipping from that newspaper article?
Probably.
Dude, when your aunt died, you died.
That's a fucked up thing to say.
Dude, I killed you.
That's also a
I
fucked
was
up thing
there.
to say, and like, absolutely not. Look at you. No offense, but like a
Dude,
little bit.
You were in a tank, dude.
You were in a tank.
You
What
were
does
in
that
a
even mean?
tank in a rocks. You know what a tank is?
Yeah.
And not an army tank.
Yeah, for like fish.
Yes. Like that, in a rocks basement.
I think O'Rourke was doing experiments on kids, and you were one of them.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
true. I was there with JoJo. I saw you in the tank.
Okay, cool.
So-
So I've clearly made a mistake here. You guys absolutely are freaks. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard, and I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Well-
you came to us because we've know about weird shit. Well, this is the weird shit you wanted. This is what we apparently do. Except, maybe not so much killing you. That was actually
That
mostly
wasn't
an
planned.
accident.
Yeah, that sounds like you're talking about some like the Thing stuff, and that's fucking weird. Weird.
It is weird. It is weird. Okay. We've had this
Dude, how you behave at school is weird.
She mutters under her breath, like, we've had this conversation before, but like,
I had a conversation with him this morning, twice. And when I went out of the bathroom to go get you guys, I saw him doing it a third time, but only then I wasn't there, so he stopped doing it. Wait, Billy, which conversation do you remember? Do you remember giving me the envelope?
Yeah.
Huh. Because you glitched a third time when I had left. Because I could see you through the slit in the door, and you said, "Hey, weeb," or whatever you said. And then you said, like, what? Oh, never mind. And then the door closed and I ran away, actually, because I had more important things to do.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I gave you the tape. And, of course, I was in the TV. I'm on a VHS tape.
No, dude.
no, it's different. Because look, we could prove it to you in the sense that we were also at the tournament. Okay? And Danny won the duck hunt game.
No.
Hey, no. We had a deal. You wanted our help.
Yes. And then we think O'Rourke, the guy who was running the Radio Shack, he was up to some really skeevy shit with the loop. So
Why don't you just
Danny,
go ask that guy?
because he's gone. He's disappeared.
Yes.
And the Radio Shack is gone too.
It's not as much gone as it is cleaned out.
Yeah. Like, it's not a Radio Shack anymore. But, like, we thought, we knew
You mean the
O'Rourke was
Radio
up to some
Rack?
weird... What?
Radio Rack.
Radio
No.
Shack.
Shack.
Rack with an R.
No. Shack.
Wait, what?
The Radio Rack.
Am I being Swedish confused, or is this weird for everyone?
No. It's Radio Shack.
Rack. Like where you put
she's-
things on a rack.
She's gonna run to a payphone. And
Okay.
there's like a phone book there, like a Yellow Pages.
Mhm.
She's gonna, because those things like update like once a year or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Probably not so often in Glenbrook.
sure.
And she's gonna look it up and see if she could find an old ad for Radio Shack.
You sure do. Radio Rack.
What? Fuck you. I don't like this.
Oh.
What?
You
She
find an
rips
ad
the
for Radio
page
Rack.
out. Well, that's under R. She's gonna go to S.
You don't. Please don't.
It's all alphabet.
It's not
It's
Shack,
RR. She's
comma
gonna go to
radio.
RS.
It's,
I'm gonna go RS.
it's one word.
It's supposed to be. Isn't it one word? I thought it was 2 words.
Yeah, don't you spell everything
Shack,
separately
comma
in
radio.
English?
No, I thought Radio Shack was 2 words. I
No,
don't
it's one word.
know. Okay. So she's gonna
Just-
go. She's like, what? She's gonna rip the page out, and she's gonna go, this isn't right.
Yeah, Radio Rack. What are you talking
She's
about?
gonna show it to the other 3. This isn't right.
Fuck this, dude. We need to get out of here.
Everything is getting weirder and weirder. The store has changed names. He glitches through reality now. Still a dick, but glitches through the reality is seriously weird.
But we.
Yeah, but what else is different?
What else is different? Can I?
United
put a-
States of
do
America.
something-
She's gonna look for you, United States of
Shout.
America. I'm sorry.
I just imagine that like an epiphany. Ah! And another thing.
United States of America, and she's gonna flip to the A's.
Mike, can I do a
America, comma United States? It's not
Oh, sorry, the U's.
the U's. You
I know
flip
the USA?
Okay, I know alphabet.
In
I
the
came
USA,
in.
they do things differently.
you flip to the U's, and there is a United States of America.
What about component video?
If it's a composite video, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Is it?
It is component video.
We all know it's composite video. Mike, can I do some kind of roll to recollect if I've noticed something else being off in the same vein as Radio Shack being Radio Rack and things like that? Like news things that doesn't make sense for Danny that he would remember differently now when it's brought to his attention?
Yeah. Roll me a comprehend.
Sure thing. And that's how you do it. 2 dice. One success.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this.
Danny, you think about strangeness, right? It's hard to quantify. You're thinking about what is weird, right? And so many things are weird. And there's no way to explain the feeling in your head other than a sharp, slicing headache. The Radio Shack is gone. You went there. The whole mall is gone. It was gutted. But you know that there's a Radio Rack and that it's open and that you can go there right now. And you know the store next to it is called Spark Mart, and the store next to that is called Book Mine, and the store next to that is called Disc Dome Records, and the store next to that is called All Cuts. With a Z.
Ah, man, my head, guys. I had an idea. I was thinking back on all the things that I've learned since I moved here, like names and stuff, and like I can both remember Radio Shack and it being gone, and like a part of me knows that there is a Radio Rack that we could go to right now, and there's like other stores still at the mall, and I just list them all as you listed them, but I don't remember the actual names that you said. So, but Danny lists them off. Guys, do you think Billy is in the right place and it's us who's glitching? Like, we're in the wrong place.
Fish looks like
That's
she's
why.
gonna puke. She's gonna
I mean,
turn
I
on.
don't like.
Like, he's remember things, and it's weird, but he remembers things a certain way, and the way he remembers them is true. We saw it in the phone book, and the way we remember them is different. Now,
Yeah,
we're being...
but why are you starting to remember it like he does? I don't trust this place. We need.
Maybe you...
They're affecting your brain.
Maybe if you cross over, or whatever we call it, like, we've been doing so much weird stuff, like teleporting from basement of the school to the top. We've been through weird things, cameras, and like so many things. Maybe we're just lost. You know, like we switched so many times that we retained some of the original things that we knew, and then when we're in this world or whatever, we start to remember things like it was in this world. Do you think we're the ones who are lost?
I mean, didn't we see a different version of the world in the window
Yeah,
at
See?
Tish's house?
Dee is absolutely correct. It's so much. We've been doing so much weird stuff. Maybe it's us. It's wrong.
Yeah, that's all fine, but I don't like that your memories are changing.
Well, why don't we go there and look?
Yeah,
I don't
let's
think
guys
it's
take us
changed.
to this
Well, like,
radio rack.
Yeah, it's not like it's changing. It's more like I can remember both.
Things that don't exist and from where we're from.
Jojo,
Like,
you've
you're
lived here
becoming
your
someone
whole
who's
life.
from here.
Yeah, Jojo, you've lived here your whole life. Is there a radio rack here?
No,
Jojo, roll a comprehend.
no, Mike.
He's rolling one dice.
Oh,
One die, no success.
Jojo, you're pretty sure there's
you
never been a
need the
radio
2
rack.
dice for that success.
You're pretty sure there's never been a radio
There's no
rack.
Radio Shack. Radio Shack with an S.
Danny, I think
one
we
word,
should go
Radio
there.
Shack.
We should go there.
Big capital S.
Sure, we can go there and we can prove once and for all that either there is no radio rack or we're in the wrong place.
Right, take us there right now. Billy, come on.
I have to.
Yeah, actually, Billy, come on.
I'm getting picked up in 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Fine,
I don't
Billy,
think-
stay and we will deal with your problems for you.
Yeah.
I think it's our problem.
I'm gonna punch you so hard when I'm done with this.
She posted,
And
get
he
on,
walks
the
away
back
to
of
his
my
bike.
bike. Let's go.
He's not. He's adamant about not going with you.
Are you
Then
kidding me?
this sort of turned away
If
and
you would
walked
like,
away.
if you'd like, roll me a charm. Or a lead. I'll take a lead if that
They're
matters.
the same. Hello?
Because
One.
as a
Or zero.
reminder, you guys can push. You guys can, use luck.
I'm gonna
to,
use a.
to make any of these rolls.
I'm gonna use a luck
Yeah. Spend those
to
resources.
re-roll my charm. Nope. Jesus Christ.
He looks to you and says, "Look, I'm getting picked up in 45 minutes. If I'm not here, my dad's gonna be pissed."
Whatever.
Dee Dee, of course, is already gone. You guys know that. I just
As
need
is
to-
tradition.
If we figure it out, maybe we'll come back and tell you what we find.
Okay.
If you're
yeah.
lucky.
What do you? I can
You
pay
just-
you if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
$20 right
When you
now
tell
up
me.
front. No, 20
Make it
bucks
100.
now. 20 bucks after we can find the information.
Keys don't
Make
have
it
pockets.
100. He's rich.
I'm trying to be realistic.
Geese don't have pockets.
Don't. He's a dick.
I'm right
Asshole
here.
tax.
Yeah, I'm sure you're good for it, Billy. And she gets on her bike and she pedals away.
JoJo had gone
four-
off to BD.
The four of you pedal off down the road, a road you've traveled many times for many different directions, and you see a fully functional, operational strip mall. Not abandoned, not empty. You see that there are a total of 6 stores here, which you remember there being 6 stores. One of them is, in fact, Radio Rack.
So we're in the wrong place. See? I
This
told you.
This is the same location as the Radio Shack?
Yeah.
The same place that was like being like renovated or whatever?
Yep, it is a Radio Rack, a Spark Mart, a Book Mine. So the Radio Rack is exactly what you think it is. Spark Mart is a general discount store. Book Mine is a bookstore. Disc Dome Records is like a Strawberries or a Sam Goody or an FYE. And All Cuts is a haircut place. And you see the end cap of this is called Civic Broadcast Solutions, and it's like a cable company.
Fish does not look happy.
What does this mean?
It means we need to get home.
I mean,
Me-
sure, yes. But
means that
where-
Glenbrook is
what is home?
messed up. She's gonna get off her bike and go inside
Inside where?
the Radio Rack.
Danny will follow.
You head.
She's like-
in-
She's like stomping in and pushes open the door. Yeah, she's aggressively walking in.
You head to the Radio Rack, and you see that there is a cashier behind there wearing the black shirt and the red vest smock with a name tag that says Radio Rack with the same R in a circle that you remember from Radio Shack. And the name is Kevin. And he waves and says, "Hey, good afternoon, you guys. Come on in. We have a new special on these RC cars over here. Come in, check them out.
Who do you work for?
I work for Radio Rack.
Where's O'Rourke?
Who's O'Rourke?
Am I not banned from here?
Why would you be banned from Radio Rack?
Because we stole from your boss?
Why did you do that?
Because he was
He was a
dick.
Oh. Well, that's language.
Dee's going to walk into the back room while he's distracted.
Go ahead. I'll give you a +1. Go ahead and give me a sneak for the +1.
I don't have any sneak. It's gonna be fun. All right. 0 successes.
I think Danny's the only one who's been sneaking.
You walk unnoticed by this guy, just under his radar, height-wise, and you walk to the back door, and you go to turn the handle, and it is locked.
Can I pull out a bobby pin and tinker at this lock?
Ooh, you can try. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a tinker.
Criminal already.
She's wearing bobby pins now. Woo!
2 successes.
You slide the 2 bobby pins in out of the boop, boop, slide them right in. Click. The door opens.
Yeah, her hair is a very nice, neat bob now. Okay, so she slides right through that door, and she's trying to find the entrance to the sub-level.
There is no sub-level.
There's no entrance.
You look around,
Does it
you
look
kind of
like
stomp on the floor. There is no hollow sound anywhere as you move around. This looks like
Does it look like it's been repaired or anything like that?
It almost looks like there never was one. Like it looks like there used to be like rug here, and a square cutout that you could like lift open like a hatch door. It's just solid rug. You see there's shelves line the wall. You see there's a computer in the corner with a screen, and next to it is a separate screen that has a CRT monitor that is monitoring the camera that is outside in the radio rack. You see a corkboard on the wall that other kids may know that would have had photographs of banned children that were banned from the radio rack. Everything seems completely innocuous about this place. You have employee help manuals, tech guides on the display models of things.
She's going to look on the computer and look at really, really old the security footage as far back as it goes. How far back does it go?
Go ahead and roll me a program.
One success.
One success is all you need. The security camera does not go back anything beyond February.
February. What was happening in February? Anything?
Nothing. You guys last came here in January.
She's just going to look at that first videotape just to see if there's like anything. Just zip through it.
Yeah, you zip through, and it looks like a completely mundane radio rack. Go ahead and roll me an investigate, just to see if there's anything you pick up here.
Well, can she pull down her goggles?
Absolutely.
All right, then. One success.
Every day, every shift, the only employee is Kevin.
Every shift.
Every shift. Kevin opens the store. Kevin closes the store.
She's going to start looking at the files. Is there like a filing cabinet with like employee records or anything like that?
The only employee is Kevin.
And is there any information about Kevin?
There is. It says Kevin Smith, 123 East Glenbrook Lane, which is not a place. It lists locations of prior business, prior like work experience. You've never heard of those places. Seems as though Kevin was born and raised in Glenbrook. You don't know anyone named Kevin Smith or any of these places that exist here in Glenbrook. This seems like a fake
So she folds that up and puts it in her pocket. But is there anything like contact information for the parent company or anything like that?
There is not. There are all helplines. All helplines have the same phone number. like any kind of like, if you need further assistance, contact here. General manager, contact here. You notice that all of the phone numbers that are like any kind of outside this store assistance are the same phone number. There is a phone on the desk if you'd like to try that number.
Oh, she tries that. Yeah, absolutely.
The three of you outside hear the phone ring. And Kevin leans down and picks up the phone and says, "Hello, you've reached Radio Rack. This is Kevin speaking."
Hi, Radio Rack. Can I speak to your manager, please?
"Oh, our manager isn't here today, but I am. How can I be of assistance to you?"
Well, I really need to speak to your manager. Can you forward the call to him?
What I can do is take down your phone number and I'll have my manager give you a call back. What is this in regards to?
You know, I don't really have the time to do this, but maybe you can give me your manager's number.
Sure can. And he gives you the exact same number you just dialed.
All right. Thank you very much. Click. And then before she leaves, she has to create some sort of chaos. So she puts the files out of order and she unplugs the computer from the back because most people don't know to like check stuff like that. And that's it.
Perfect. Everyone outside, while Dee Dee is causing chaos, what are you doing?
I think Fish is still being confrontational to this fucking weirdo.
Donna was already getting weird vibes when he said, "We stole from your boss," and we didn't immediately get dragged into the back room or thrown out. So he's starting to freak out again.
JoJo, what are you doing?
I don't know. JoJo wants to punch him, but
you cause around
no good
the same
reason.
amount of chaos as Dee Dee, so.
I think JoJo's going to look at him and go, "How long have you worked here? If you don't know a Rourke, and he was here," and then he sort of side eyes Fish and Danny because I don't think JoJo believes this is home anymore. How long have you been working at Radio Rack?
I've worked here for 4 months.
And he looks around. Are there any customers in the store?
Nope.
There's obviously no other staff.
Nope.
So in 4 months, they've left you alone in a store?
Yeah.
She's gonna hop up on the counter, go on her elbows, like her on her forearms, and look down over the counter. She wants to see if he's got feet and legs.
He does have feet and legs.
Does he have a bottom half?
So much chaos down here. Yes, he has a bottom half.
He has the bottom half. Okay.
Hey, you never know. What was that movie, when they were traveling through space, the bartender only had the upper body part.
You
So
do
he's
that and he
not,
goes, "Excuse me, miss, I'm going to have to ask you to back off the counter, please. That's not proper behavior in the store."
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a criminal in this town, so you better get used to me doing stuff like this. And she's going to, like, smack, like a trading card, the little box that has, like, the packages of cards in it. She's just going to, like, smack it off the counter. "What are you going to do about it, Kevin?" And she's going to, like, flick his name tag.
"Now I'm going to have to ask you to leave."
No.
"Well, then." And then the phone rings, and that's when he has the conversation with someone on the other side. And he says, "I'm sorry for that. We had a customer call." And he picks up the phone again, and he hits 9. And his hand goes up to the top corner, and he's about to hit 1. Does anyone do anything?
JoJo unplugs the phone.
This is when Dee Dee slinks out, and someone hears a click as Dee Dee pushes the door back closed. "Now, young man, I know you said you were banned from this store. I have no recollection of that, but this kind of behavior is what would get you banned from Radio Rack. I'm going to have to ask for that cable
I've been
back."
banned for months. Do you know how to put it back? Are you sure?
Yes.
I've only been here 4 months.
Yeah, you
I've
know
read
what?
all
She's
the manuals.
she's gonna reach back up to his name, and she's gonna undo his name tag and take his name tag off. "I'm Kevin now," and she's gonna put it on herself.
I'm going to have to escort the 4 of you off the premises here.
Dee Dee's already going towards the front room. She's already pocketed like a chocolate bar. And as she opens the door, she says, "We should leave because he's not real." And then she leaves.
I think that snaps Danny right back into it, like, yeah, we should, and start following Dee Dee out.
Yeah. Kevin, if that is your real name. And she's going to swipe something. She's going to swipe something else off the counter. With big dramatic fashion.
The three of you who were in the front room, go ahead and roll me either a
Investigate.
comprehend or an investigate.
I'm going to try
Same chances
comprehensive
for both.
time.
I'll go with
What
investigate.
success?
2 dice, 1 success, baby.
Wow.
Wow.
For Danny and 1 success
Wow.
for Fish. I love this.
We have both comprehend and investigate. We get all the information.
We
Dee
need
Dee
something
says-
that JoJo can do.
Dee Dee says, let's go, he's not real. Danny snaps back into it. JoJo goes to leave. Fish knocks some things off the counter. And there's a moment before you leave. Danny, when you snap back in, you immediately realize what sort of put you in a weird, uncomfortable fugue state. And Fish, you notice it as you make this loud clattering noise of knocking things down. And you hadn't noticed it before, and now that you have, wigs you out. Kevin hasn't blinked the whole time you've been in the store. Kevin hasn't blinked.
As JoJo's about to leave, he grabs the phone cable because he unplugged it from the back of the phone, and he's going to yank it to try and break the connection off the wall as he walks out with the cable.
Roll me force.
Oh, I thought you were
I
going to
can
try
do
to hit him
force.
and like swing it like a
2
thing
successes.
and hit him with the head.
Garrot him. Yeah, you absolutely just like whip it out of the wall.
His goal is trying to break it, to break the connection.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, you, in fact, are banned. We will be posting the security footage on our billboard. You are not welcome back in Radio Rack.
From which camera?
That one.
Can he jump and hit it? Try and
With his
smack the camera? Is it
I
high
mean,
enough? Well enough.
Yeah, sure. I'll say with 2 force on that previous roll, you can use the second success to punch a camera. It's a shitty little gray plastic one. You kind of spin it.
Yeah, he's
it
gonna
kind of
try and-
dangles out of there.
Yeah, and then he just walks out the door. He gives him the bird and then flips him the bird and walks away.
Yeah, she's like, well,
Go ahead.
you, we're gonna leave, but oh, look at this cute RC car, and she's gonna walk over to the RC car. And she's just gonna pick it up, tuck it under her arm. She's like, yeah, that looks like fun. You're gonna have lots of fun with that. And then she's gonna go and she's gonna pick up like a remote control helicopter. Like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, oh, look at these new phones. Oh, you got the I don't think they have them in the 80s. Like, oh, those clear plastic phones where you can see all the gears inside.
No.
The little
I don't know.
the coil ones. I think they had those.
Or a
Definitely a 90s
hamburger
thing.
phone. She always
A
thinking of a
hamburger
hamburger phone. Yeah, she's gonna find a hamburger phone. She's like, okay, I can take this, and she's literally just packing up her arms and shit with loot, and she's gonna walk out. Like, she's gonna basically her goal is to try and get him out of the counter and try and like make her leave.
He doesn't physically make you leave, but he does wag his finger at you as he walks out and be like, "You'll have to leave. You are banned from the Radio Rack," and continues to like, coax you out of the door.
Okay, great. And she's gonna take some batteries, or maybe like a camping lantern.
Fish,
we need
Fish,
that.
let's go. Fish, let's go now. I'm serious. Let's
It's
go.
okay.
Stop.
He's
I
not
know
real.
you're like, no, but you're messing with something that isn't real, that can act as a human. Who knows what it can do otherwise? Did you notice that he hasn't blinked
Indeed.
yet?
Outside the store, usually quite fast. You are the first off the gate. You are the first to any location. You are the first outside. You are the first on your bike. You are the first ready to go. But you have
winner.
not gone yet.
No.
Something on the back of your neck makes the hair on the back of your neck stand. Something feels weird. like the way that like if you wake up in the middle of the night and all the lights off in the house, all the lights in the house are off, and you have to pee. There's that moment where you open your door and then you sort of look to where your bathroom is across the hall, and then you run, even though you know there's nothing in your house. You have that kind of feeling, the kind of feeling that makes you put your leg back under the cover if it was hanging off the side of your bed. And you look around, and there are 4 sets of eyes looking at you from the other 4 out of 5 stores in the strip mall.
Through the windows?
Through the glass door at the window.
Dee Dee looks at her bike and takes a step toward it, and then looks back and pulls the door open just a couple inches and says, "We got to go now, the mill." And she lets the door go, jumps on her bike, and heads out.
Okay.
Danny's right behind her. He told Fish that stop messing about. He is freaking out. He's gonna go the DD route.
Danny, you walk outside, you tell Fish to stop, and you grab your bike and you look around and you see that the Spark Mart, the Book Mine, the Disc Dome, and the All Cuts all have an attendant at the glass door standing watching you and your friends.
DD, you took off, right? I'm gonna take off with DD. He's so freaked out. He's not gonna stay. He's gonna just... It's gonna be, automatic. He see DD go, and he's not gonna think about leaving his friends. He's just gonna think about DD went, so he's gonna go.
JoJo, you exit, you see the same thing. 4 out of the remaining 5 stores, not to include the Radio Rack, all have a person standing out at the door, looking through the glass window.
JoJo holds the door open, and he looks at them and waits for Fish to exit. Does she exit?
Yep, she does.
He's going to look at all the stuff in her arms.
Yep.
He steps back inside and grabs a basket, walks back out, and he says to Fish, "Load it up, let's go."
She drops it all in.
As you begin to load up the basket, you watch as Kevin, similarly positioned at the door, watches all of you. Now 5 out of 6 stores have someone watching you through their glass door.
Okay,
Which
what's
store
the
did not have it? Yeah.
Civic Broadcast Solutions.
Hmm. She nods. There's no one looking out of that one. And she hooks the basket onto her handlebars.
Do you want to come back for that one?
Yeah. Let's go mess these guys up. She says very unconvincingly.
Leave the staff alone.
And then we'll ride our bikes over there.
To the cable store?
Yeah.
Okay.
CBS.
You guys ride your bikes to the end of the strip mall, and you see Civic Broadcast Solutions. They have the same sort of glass window front and the glass door, except all of their windows have that one-way sort of opaque covering halfway up. So if you're standing outside, you can't see in unless you jumped up over it. But if you're inside, you can see out. And the door has a simple Civic Broadcast Solutions on the door.
This is giving New England Positronics.
You want a boost to look through the window?
Yeah, boost me up.
All right.
She will.
And he gets ready.
You boost up, and you see that this place looks like the interior of the other places in that it has a counter and there are shelves. You see that one wall, much like the Radio Rack, has a row of CRT TVs, tube TVs. They are on. They are all playing static. There are no lights on in this building, and there is no one behind the counter.
I don't see anybody. And she looks like the TVs are all static. Okay, let me down. Let's try the door, see if it's open.
Speaking of static, your walkie-talkie goes, where the hell are you guys?
I was about to say, Danny, you eventually catch up to based on your last racing interactions with Dee Dee, you catch up to Dee Dee, but you make it look like it was some effort to do so. You catch up to Dee Dee, and soon you realize that the two of you are alone.
Wow.
Jesus.
Someone's business shipping over there.
You are alone, he specified specifically.
Didi, wait a second. The other two aren't with us. We can't leave our friends behind. Friends don't leave friends behind.
Unless they don't.
Even if they're losers and we're winners, especially you, since you're the fastest.
And she kind of blushes, and then she grabs the walkie-talkie and she says, where the hell are you guys?
We're checking out the CBC or CBS. There was no one watching us. Over.
You have to say over. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
That place is creepy as hell. Are you sure? Over.
Yeah, I'm sure there was no one watching us. There's nobody inside, and all the TVs, the TVs inside, are all playing static. Over.
All right, well, don't do anything because you might lose while I'm not there. Over. And then she puts it away, and then she's back on her bike, heading back.
And she
The door open, Mike.
closes the thing, puts it on her, and she's gonna try the door.
The front door is open.
And she's gonna glance back at the other shops. Are they watching them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the ones that you can see.
Are there on opposite sides of the road? Like there's some shops on one side, some
No,
shops
it's
on the
one
other?
L-shaped building.
One L-shaped building. Can we see Kevin?
No.
From where we are?
So from where you are in the L shape, the corner of the L is Radio Shack. You are on the far side. If you remember the first time I think you guys came here, all of the power lines feed back to this place. And when you had first come here, you saw that the power lines, not the power lines, but the power meters were like going crazy, drawing power. That's how you guys knew there was a lab underground.
Yeah, during that mundane fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is you are on the long part, the tip of the long part of the L.
Okay, but we can't see Kevin.
No, because he's in the corner slot. If you take a couple steps back into the parking lot, you probably could.
No, if you could give him the finger from here, he would. But if he can't, he's just going to walk in.
Fair enough. You walk inside. Everything about this place smells sterile. It smells like a hospital. The walls are white. The ceiling is white drop ceiling. The floor is tiled white. And there is the like a brand new like counter with a glass display case with nothing in it. A wall-to-wall CRT tube TV array, all playing static.
Was there like a chair?
Nope.
Guess we'll wait for the other two to show up.
Okay. JoJo.
He's going to check around the room and see if there's any doors or trap doors into the floor or ways to get into the ceiling, anything like that while he waits for them.
Yeah, you know what? There is a way to get into the ceiling. No need to roll. You're smart enough to figure it out. If you were to stand on top of the counter, it's a drop ceiling. You just push the tile up, and you can look around in there.
He would. He'd climb onto the counter.
You see that all of the cabling, which seems to be a lot, of cabling that runs to the TVs, all bundles in the ceiling, bundles into one, like, knot of cables, like one loop of cables, and proceeds up into a pipe in the top of like above the drop ceiling, and you see beside the pipe there is a metal hatch.
He looks down through the hole where his head is into the ceiling, and he says, "There's a metal hatch in here."
To the roof?
To somewhere.
Okay, Hold on, I think I see them coming. And she's going to go to the door.
Pedaling back in. The two of you, Dee Dee and Danny, you see that there are 5 faces in 5 doors, all watching you re-enter the parking lot.
Yeah, Dee Dee's pace were there in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Just enough time for JoJo to get in the ceiling.
And you see like the door creep open and you see Fish's face. And then she's just like...
I think they don't even like necessarily stop their bicycles. They just hop off of them and the bicycles skid across the way and they
wheels still spinning.
The door.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ride them through the door and she would go right in.
In through the window.
Yeah. I think JoJo found something in the ceiling. Look, and she's gonna like point out everything like so sterile, and then there's no chair for someone to sit at, and the computer all thingy, all static.
Well, why are you still here? We should be through there.
Well, we're waiting for you. You said you didn't want to win, or didn't want us winning without you.
No, you should lose if she wasn't here, and now we're here. Now we can go up.
What? That doesn't make any sense, Danny. And she's gonna go and she's gonna help Dee Dee get up.
Yeah, so she'll climb up on Fisher's
Americans.
I'm Californian.
Does the hatch jiggle or move?
The hatch does jiggle. It is not locked. You can pop the hatch open and you can climb up. There is a ladder that leads up.
I'm assuming JoJo was already.
Oh, there's a ladder.
So...
Yeah, JoJo's going.
Yep.
And then her and Danny will get up.
Okay. You begin to climb the ladder. And you reach another hatch. Well, I mean, you can see it. You see the other hatch probably about 5 feet above you. You climb the ladder. You wrench the arm, and you open the latch. It locks in place, and you can climb out to the roof.
Sweet.
Is there anything up here?
There is. There's several things. The other end of that pipe is there. You see the bundle of cables are running across the rooftop, plugged into a rather large satellite dish that was blocked from most angles from the ground and around the parking lot. But there is a large satellite dish, which makes sense for a Civic Broadcast Solutions. There's also a tower, an antenna tower here, which also makes sense for a Civic Broadcast Solutions place, a cable company. You see that the cables plug into the satellite dish, and you see a separate set of cables comes down from the radio antenna and into a separate tube, much like the one that you just followed your way up here with.
Dee Dee, can you make hide or hair of this?
Dee Dee attempts to make hide or hair of that.
Dee Dee, roll me either an investigation or a comprehend.
Not a tinker?
Not a tinker yet. That may come next.
She pulls down her goggles.
Okay.
1 success.
Yay.
The goggles focus out the things you don't need. And in this case, the thing you didn't need was actually your sight. You poke out onto the roof, and you realize the sound didn't change. As in, when you walked out the front door, there were the sounds of cars passing by on the road across from the woods. There were the sounds of bugs. It's May. Well, it's not May. It's it is May. It is May. It's May. In here, it's the sound of springtime. There are no sounds on the roof. That's weird. There should be sounds on the roof. There are not. You climb out here. Your sneakers squeak, and the rocks underneath you, the gravel on top of the roof, makes that grinding sound. Sound is produced here, but no sounds from outside this building are reaching your ears. What do you want to investigate here on the roof?
The satellite dish, I think.
Go ahead and roll me Tinker.
Does this contraption look anything like that was on the school?
Are you on the roof?
Yeah, we're all up there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we all climbed up. I just assumed that we all followed JoJo.
You see Dee Dee kind of look around, maybe give a little shrug, and head over to the satellite dish. The rest of you recognize a similarity to the roof. Not the same. There was a big computer system there before, but there's nothing like that, just a satellite and the antenna. But it does have a vibe similar to the roof of the school all the way back in the day.
Detention.
In going in circles. All the way back in
Two
September
successes.
of 1985. Dee Dee, you take a look at this satellite. It's pretty standard fare satellite. It's no different than like DirecTV, if that existed at this time, which it doesn't. But it's simply plugged in here. You can unclip the little safety pin, little security pin. You kind of pop that, like the don't break this tag off. You break that off. You see all of the cables that are routing into this. This is sending.
Send. When she disconnects it, is that what you said, that she disconnected?
Yeah, so on the box, like the junction box, there's a little like metal loop with a little plastic pin that says "Don't break this off" for security. You break that off, and the thing pops open.
She opens it.
Yeah.
Got it. So she wants to unplug something, and then she wants to see if there's a difference in the sound.
You look at this thing. It's difficult to unplug one thing. All of these cables bundled together and are like zip tied together and plugged in. So it's hard to get one of them out. You could probably get the whole thing out if you wanted to apply some elbow grease.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay. If you would like, roll me a force, or you could ask for assistance here.
Hey, Danny, do you think you can, I think we should pull this out.
Yeah, sure. I'll help. Direct me, and I will pull.
What happens when he does that?
Either one of you can roll me. Whoever has the most dice can roll me a force with a +1 from the other person helping.
I only have a 1. I have a. Let's see. What's the total?
I have 8 dice in force.
Oh, good. I have a total of 5. So you do it.
So okay, so force and then +1 for the other one.
+1 from
as well.
me helping you.
1 success.
I think there's a perfectly serendipitous moment where like you have your hands on it, Danny, and Dee Dee's behind you and has her hands on it, and you give it a tug, and because it's coaxial cable, your hand slips and it touches Dee Dee's hand, and then boom, the cable comes out. I'm here to facilitate horror, trauma, and smooches. Okay, that's what my goals are. Those are my 3 wheelhouses: terror, smooches, and just traumatizing my players. You unplug this cable. You watch as in that junction box, all of the lights go out. Inside the box, all the lights go out. And you hear from in the inside the shaft with the ladder, the sound of static is now like a crescendo of noise. When there was no noise inside the store before, all of a sudden sound is being produced from the televisions downstairs.
And what about the sound from the road?
Has not changed.
There is no sound from the road.
Still no sound on the roof. The only sound you're hearing is whatever sound you make and the sound of static coming up from the...
So this is sending, and then there was also an antenna, you said?
Yeah, like a big radio antenna.
Okay, so that's where it would be receiving then.
Seems like
so she'll walk over there. And
okay.
What does this look like?
A big metal antenna. That's probably like 20, 25 feet high. And you see that there is a single cable that snakes out of a hole and up this tower and plugs in at the top.
And how tall is it again?
Probably like 25 feet. You'd have to guess. It's pretty up there.
Well, here goes nothing. And she scrambles up.
I think Danny will move in and be ready to catch her if she falls.
So no one's going to stop this 12-year-old from climbing up a radio antenna. Just want to... Okay.
She has no fear.
All right.
No one is quick enough to stop Dee Dee climbing anything.
You want to move?
Go ahead, go ahead and give me a move.
All right. Cross fingers.
Fish is like, to JoJo, doesn't this look like the stuff that was on the school?
1 success.
Looks pretty similar.
You make your way carefully up this thing, much slower than you want to be moving, Dee Dee. You slowly make your way carefully up this thing. It gets narrower and narrower and narrower the higher you get. And you see this cable plugs in to the base of the antenna at the top, and you see written on the antenna is the broadcast company name, and you see a symbol above that name that you know to be a symbol often used by the Loop. It is on employee shirts, employee jackets. Your parents have one. So you see the broadcast, the Civic Broadcast Solutions, and the Loop logo.
She says, "It's the Loop, guys," and then she yanks the cable.
You yank the cable out of here. Go ahead and give me a force.
Sure.
Come on,
Can
Didi.
I get any bonuses for putting all her weight on it and gravity?
I'll tell you what, Melissa. If you want to specifically say you put all your weight and gravity on this, you don't even have to roll. 25 feet of gravity will absolutely pull that cord right out.
Wait, 20 feet.
20 feet of gravity will absolutely pull that cord out. But I'll need a roll from Danny.
I'm doing my best here.
So either you roll, Melissa, or Iquin rolls.
What?
What is he gonna roll?
To catch you.
Yeah, but what is he gonna roll move or what's he moving?
He's gonna roll move.
What's he rolling? He's gonna roll move.
Mm-hmm. He's athletic. It might work.
You could fall into his big karate arms.
All right, we're going to do it.
Or you cannot go suicide.
Oh, when you put it like that.
This is a cinematic moment. We are absolutely going to be jumping and pulling the cable down.
Iquin, go ahead and roll move.
What's your iconic song? Your favorite song?
Oh. I'm going to use my green belt, which is my iconic item, because I can never use it for anything really. But I'm going to use it to try to sort of use that to catch Didi with, so I have more. More like just wrapping it around my arm, so I have sort of a catching net.
So she doesn't fall through your arms.
Yeah, essentially just trying to hedge my bet. So I'm gonna use my very iconic belt. So move, and then I get a +2, right? Yes.
Yep.
2 successes.
Okay. Everyone watches as Didi climbs this tower, makes it to the top, shouts back down, "Guys, it's the Loop." Fish, JoJo, you watch as she reaches her fingers in, pulls some cable out of the antenna, wraps a hand around it. You see her release her second hand, grab this thing, and lift and yank. And you watch as her sneaker slips off the bar as she is holding this cable. You watch Danny. Danny, you see her falling. You quickly dash into place. You have the green belt sort of wrapped around. And in your head, and collectively in all of our heads, you hear, "You're the best around. No one's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best around." As woof, right into your arms. You bring down to one knee. And there's that moment in your head where the music crescendos. "Around. No one's ever gonna keep you down." As you catch Didi in your arms. Didi, complete with cable, severed at the tip, the screw-on platform of this coaxial end has been ripped out, so there's just a sharp piece of copper sticking out the end. And you look up, and you see Danny looking down at you, and you are in his arms, down on the ground.
And she says, "No, 12-year-old, no." No, I think she says, "Wow, you're a winner." And that's the biggest compliment she could ever
That's
give.
perfect.
Thank you. Don't ever do that to me again.
You all take a breath, and in the silence, you hear the chirp of crickets, the buzzing of cicadas. The sounds of nature have returned to the roof.
JoJo was, while Dee Dee was climbing, was watching out into the street. Not the street, but the strip mall.
Mhm.
Does anything change when the sounds come back?
Nothing changes.
Are the people still standing in the doorways?
You look around and you can now see like the tip of the short part of the capital L. You can see one person is still in that store. You can't see the other doors from where you are. Sound has returned.
He looks back.
You have unplugged all the cables.
I think you did it. But I don't know what you did.
Dee Dee is just very slowly extricating herself.
Like, Danny would just like let her down, give her a big hug, and like, no, seriously, don't ever do that to me again, and then let her go.
Okay. Okay. She does. She won't look anyone in the eye. She's just looking. She's looking at her feet.
JoJo starts to walk back towards the hole in the roof,
Mhm.
and as he goes past Fish, he like leans in and he says, "She makes a great rebel. Get her stealing soon."
I think she already has.
And as he comes towards, he stops and looks back. I'm proud. And he walks as he goes past Dee Dee, he puts a hand up for a high five before he goes to climb down. Good job, kid.
JoJo, you hear voices.
Uh-oh.
Then he would stop before he climbs onto the ladder, and he just waves to all the others.
You hear O'Rourke's voice.
That motherfucker.
It sounds a little distant and like not distorted, but definitely not crisp.
How high is the roof?
It's got to be like 15 feet from the ground, right? It's like a standard roof is like 10 feet above your head, plus you climbed up 5 feet to get to the ceiling.
That's jump downable.
It's definitely jump downable, but it's definitely like if you fail the roll, you probably are going to take a condition.
JoJo's gonna run to the front of the building
Mhm.
above the door.
Yeah.
He's gonna climb over, hang down, and then jump down to the ground in front of the door.
All right, I'll let you make that roll. Give me either a move or a force, and I'll give you a +1 to that.
I'll go with a force. That's a much better roll. And a +1. One success.
One success. You drop down. You sink into the ground. You drop down. You're like, ugh, and you stand back up. Nothing. You're fine.
He is gonna open the door because he wants to come in from the front. He doesn't want O'Rourke to get away.
Okay, you open the door. There is no one in the room, but every single TV is displaying something different. You see across the top of the TVs, they are labeled in the top left corner, but that same digital sort of lettering that says D-01 through 07 across the top of this thing. You see D-01 is Billy in a tube. You see D-02 through 07s are something in a tube. Looks like the Billy tube. Doesn't look like Billy. Doesn't look like anybody. Looks like attempts at something. You see various TVs playing similar videos to the one you have a VHS tape of Billy Duncan repeating iterations of the same event over and over and over again. And at that moment, you understand block 3. These are memory blocks of grouped activities. And you watch that playing across all of these are Billy Duncan repeating the same exercise over and over again.
As he got in and realized O'Rourke wasn't there, he would have shouted up the thing to call the others down for them to see it as well.
Fish
And you
one.
said they were labeled D01, D02.
The top 7 TVs are labeled D01 through D07.
What about the others?
And
Unlabeled.
D01, is that the one that's showing same thing as the VHS?
No, D01 is showing Billy in a tube. A tube that is very familiar to you.
Well, he looks to the others if they've come down.
Yeah, Fish was like running down because she saw JoJo jump over the side of the thing.
I don't know, dude. That's D01, which was on the tape. But it's not the same thing.
All of the rest of the TVs seem to show, you see there's a column of them that are like mundane tasks. Like you see a video of Billy riding a bike. And then it loops again. And then it loops again. You see a video of Billy brushing his teeth, getting dressed. You see another line of videos of karate, of different physical activities, sports. You see other ones that seem to, like, you see not exactly like the winning the game, but you see him winning a karate tournament. Everyone cheers. You see him winning a track tournament. Everyone cheers. You see videos of people delivering news to him, and his reaction is sad. And all of the blocks seem to be an activity, an emotion in common.
And what is O'Rourke's voice saying?
O'Rourke's voice is not coming from one of these TVs.
Okay.
Do you look for it?
Yeah.
You move around behind the counter, and you see that there is a small, like one of those like security guard sort of TVs that like these long rectangle, like big D-cell battery ones. That is a small TV that you see is wired into the floor, and it is playing a recording of Dr. O'Rourke talking to a woman who you have seen once before when you looked through the portal.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Lee.
O'Rourke is talking to Dr. Kimber Lee. You hear him say, he's remembering things that aren't his. I think that's the chorus entity trying to fill in the gaps. And she responds, well, if he stabilizes, we're successful. If he fractures, I don't know.
So the video is of him talking to a woman? Like, so we're seeing two of them having a conversation?
Yep, Daryl O'Rourke and Kimber Lee having a conversation.
In what setting?
It seems to be like a lab setting. They're in lab coats. They're in a white room.
Is there a way to get that tape?
It's not a tape.
It's not a tape. Okay.
Is there a phone in this room?
There is not.
So it's a video feed. Is that your implication?
The videos, there is video playing. The box that has that has O'Rourke on it is just like a portable TV. Like there's an antenna on it. It's like one of those little tiny square ones, like little guys. That's powered by like the D-cell batteries. The other TVs are just like a wall display of TVs. No VHS tape that you can see, but they're all just displays.
So what exactly did Dee Dee do when she unplugged the cable? This was the cable she unplugged was the transmitting cable?
She unplugged both. A signal was being received and a signal was being sent.
And
The-
when
the
she
recep-
unplugged,
The reception signal was a single cable. The output signal was a bundle of as many TVs as you see here.
Dee Dee's going to look outside the front door. Are the people still standing there?
If you step outside, you can see, like, if you kind of crane your, you can see the two people on the short side of the building are still standing there.
Okay.
but it
You have
wasn't
to,
until
step
after
out into the
she-
parking lot to see everyone else.
It wasn't until after she unplugged that the signal came back
Mhm.
to these TVs. Okay.
It was some being overwritten or by something else or
Mm-hmm.
suppressed, maybe.
Is there a payphone on the street?
You'd have to. There's not a payphone in this plaza. You'd have to go out. You could go out and find one.
Hmm.
Is the thing with O'Rourke, is that on a loop or is it we just
Yes.
happen to hear that?
Everything here seems to be on a loop. As the four of you stand in quiet contemplation and or confusion, in the silence, other than hearing O'Rourke over and over again, and seeing Billy do mundane things over and over again, you hear a sharp on the glass door.
she almost like shrieks in surprise
Yeah.
as she looks to see.
Is there a back entrance?
There's not. You peek.
That's
You
a
kind
fire
of like,
hazard.
you kind of like tippy toe a little bit, Fish, to like look over, and you see slick back brown hair. Doesn't seem to be a tall person. You just see the top of like their head over the white panel. Oh, I'm sorry. The panel is not. It's not opaque from your side. You look and you see that there is a kid about your age with a gi on. Looks like you've been joined by Billy Duncan.
Fuck. He's the one I wanted to call. Fuck's sakes.
Well, here's no.
Let him in.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. Do you want him to see this? Would you want to see this?
I don't know. He was looking for weird. This
We'll
is
find
weird.
out. We'll find out what he wants first. But I don't think we should tell him this yet.
I wonder if we're inside one of these. Is this what this is? Like we're in the wrong place.
Shut up, Danny. Shut
this
up.
showing
I'm
you-
gonna go crazy. She's gonna go and open the door, but not let him in. She's
Uh,
just gonna open it. Like, yeah.
As she goes to open the door, JoJo just stops and says, before you open it, how did he know we were in here?
I know. That's why our bikes are outside.
Our bikes are outside.
But I am curious as to how he knows. So she's not letting him in, but she's like just opening the door.
He was
You know,
there
like
when
when-
we decided to come here.
Yeah, he
Yeah, but
knew
not
we
the
were going to
radio
be
rack.
But not
The radio
here.
rack. Yeah, but we're
our
just a
bikes
couple.
are
We're just
outside.
our bikes are right there.
I know, but we don't know what else he could be thinking. He might not even be really Billy. You
Just
know?
don't let him in. Don't let him in, Fish.
I'm not letting him in, but I gotta
Are
talk
you
to
guys
him.
in there?
She opens the door like a foot. Hi, what's up?
I don't know what's up.
Nothing.
What?
You were really
What are you
trying to
doing
get me
here?
to come here, so I came here.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get in trouble if you left the dojo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get back in time. But you guys really wanted me to be here for something, so here I am.
I'm gonna empathize to see if he's like
Yeah.
being weird, or can I charm or comprehend or something like that?
Comprehend or empathize.
Okay. Stupid computer. One success.
He seems genuine. He walked here.
So that's what took him a little longer. Hold, please. She shuts the door and she turns the deadbolt and so he locks it.
I think he needs to see this.
I agree.
This is the mystery.
That is what he asked for, and if I was him, I would want to know.
just feel bad.
I mean, yeah, but do you feel bad knowing, or do you feel worse if it comes out later that we didn't show him?
We could just be here for him, like we're his friends.
I'm not his
That's
friend.
an excellent idea. You do that, Fish. And me and JoJo is going to stand over there in the corner. Come,
Yeah,
JoJo.
you guys don't have to pretend, but just don't be mean about it, okay?
Sure.
Let's
We'll just be quiet.
I don't
the
think
corner.
they'd be mean, Fish.
She whispers very quietly to Dee Dee, so only Dee Dee can hear. Tell Danny not to be mean to him. Okay.
Don't be mean, okay?
Okay, we won't be mean. We'll be quiet.
She turns the deadbolt and opens the door. Come into our secondary base.
Okay.
And she will let him in.
All right.
So Kevin over at the radio rack is not a real person. His whole identity is a front.
He
Yeah.
might be a robot.
I would also go robot. He didn't blink the entire time.
No,
we were there.
he didn't blink.
Okay.
Did you see all the stuff in the basket? He just let me take that.
Okay. That's a crime.
Yeah, I need.
It's not a real
I actually-
business.
Yeah.
Tried to
And
call
that's
the
not a
police,
real
but we
town
disabled
anyway.
the phone, so I guess he didn't call the police on us, but he tried.
Guys, we're burying the lead.
Yeah.
Right.
Billy.
He steps in the building, and as soon as his foot crosses the threshold, all of the TVs turn to static.
Oh, fucker.
Oh,
Go back outside, dude.
Why?
She kind of grabs him by the shoulders and
Just-
kind of like ushers him out, like kind of pushing, but she's holding him to make sure he doesn't fall. We're just testing something. We're doing weird nerd shit. And she'll
He crosses back out, and bloop, 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 bloop. They all, like, one by one flicker back to the video.
Okay, look through the door.
we can. I don't think you can see it from the door.
Can you not see it from the door at all?
You can see the screens from the door.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Just
You
open the door.
Okay.
What am I
Just
looking
keep
at?
him on the outside.
It's some kind of
You.
experiment on you. And she
Is-
will point to the screen.
Is the experiment to stare at turned off TVs?
You don't see it? Okay, the images have come back. We can see them.
Mhm.
Okay. You don't see anything?
No, I just see, like, a bunch of TVs turned off in this weird room. And you
She
guys act
manhandles
super
him back
weird.
into the room. She manhandles him back into the room.
What
Now
about the
what do you
portable?
see?
Oh,
What about the portable?
yeah, they're all static. I guess it was just, like, the weird angle that I was at.
What about the portable TV? Was there any impact to that one?
Also
Yeah.
turned off. Well, I mean,
Also, same.
it was also static when he crosses
Same.
the threshold. Yeah.
Ugh.
What's
That's
happening?
even weirder. We can see images on those TVs when you're not in this place.
Can
Everything
I-
you're saying sounds crazy.
Yes, I know. Can
Yeah,
I check something on you?
I guess.
She walks behind him and she smooths his hair, like touches like the back of his neck. She's looking for like ports and like weird like holes that shouldn't be there. You know? Like she's like looking at the back of his neck and she's gonna like feel his scalp and look for anything.
Everything.
Jojo in
looks
the
to
back
be-
says, I think she likes you.
Shut up, Jojo.
Everything
keep
looks
him
to be
alive.
normal about him. He does not seem to be some weird cybernetic pod person.
Not from the head, at least.
Do you have anything on you that like someone gave you, like
Take off
a
your gear.
radio rack friend or something? Like I don't know, thing that you think is cool and you carry it with you everywhere?
Empty your pockets.
I don't have the geese. Don't have pockets.
Take off your gi.
Told you she likes you.
Don't you have anything underneath?
No.
No, you don't have clothes underneath the key.
It's pants.
Take off your shoes.
Okay. And he slides off like Keds.
And she kicks them outside the door. Anything?
No.
Not you. The TVs.
Also no.
Not you, Billy. You, the DM.
Not Billy.
Also,
you, Mike.
also no. Also no.
Did you feel everywhere, Fish?
Well, what do they do? What do they do for cause? Oh yeah. All right, put him up like this, and she's just gonna like pat down his sides like they do in the cop shows.
Okay, I guess. Yeah. Okay. And he like puts his arms up. You don't feel anything.
Okay.
Does he have on a watch or anything?
No. He's here for karate. You gotta take all that shit off.
JoJo
No-
looks at him.
no jewelry?
JoJo looks at him and says,
No,
"Make her
take
day,
all of
dude.
it
Just
off.
take off the gi."
No.
I mean, Danny can beat you up and take it off if you need him to.
I'm not
But
getting
I
into
just
my
need to see
underwear
if the
in
titties
front
come
of
on.
a kid.
I'm gonna leave now.
She'll cover her eyes.
That's a
We're
good
all
idea.
kids here, you dingus.
You turn
I am-
around. You turn around.
She'll turn around.
He takes the jacket off to reveal a tank top, and then he takes that off to reveal abs, and then he drops the
Yeah, right.
he drops. If you want a face claim for Billy Duncan, as everyone's like, "Ew, gross, Billy Duncan," it's Jonathan Brandis. And he like quickly like looks back and forth to JoJo, and Danny, and he goes, "This is some sort of fucking prank." And he like quickly drops Trow and then picks it back
You can
up.
see out the door. Like, you can see out the door. Just throw your shit out the door for 2 seconds. If nothing comes on the screen, you can put your shit back on. I will even bring your shit back in.
I'm gonna hold you to that. And he takes it off and like hands it to you, so you can take his shit outside.
JoJo stops in the door and says, "Oh, I didn't want to kill you once," and he walks out the door.
Nothing changes.
Nothing? All right. He comes back in
No.
and hands him all his shit. Get dressed. You look like an
Quickly
idiot.
gets dressed. As he pulls on the last of his clothes, everyone go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
Oh, yeah. I used to think this guy was cute.
All
All right, what's the next?
Wait,
Zero success, but-
Billy Duncan or Jonathan Brandis? Which,
Jonathan Brandis.
yeah.
Ooh, success, success, success.
One for Fish.
Everyone got a success.
Ooh, yeah, buddy. You all turn to your respective as Billy Duncan is getting dressed. Billy Duncan is positioned sort of in the middle of the room, back to the TVs, as you guys are kind of like horseshoed around him or half mooned around him. And you all watch as he pulls his shirt back down. The pants came up first because there's, girls around. But he pulled the shirt on. So everyone got a little peek of abs. And then he's getting the jacket back on. You see him cross it. And as he's doing all this, collectively, you all see the static move. Not all of the static. Maybe just like the central few TVs, the static moves. And it forms a kind of silhouette.
Oh,
Tall, gaunt, weird silhouette. The outline of a vaguely human shape. The lines of the body flicker like warped tape tracking on a VHS, stretching and compressing as if it can't decide what form to take. The head is a little too long and comes to a jagged cone. You don't see any face. You don't see any mouth. It just sort of smooths out where a face would go if a thing were to have a face. The outline pulses like a sound wave frozen in time, twitching every few seconds as if to sync with reality, and you hear a pop as if from a speaker. The limbs hang from the shoulder, sort of limp, but too long. Occasionally one jitters out to the side and then slowly falls back down, like a little staccato burst as it drops back to its waist. You see it lean forward and sort of peer through the TVs as if that were a thing. And Danny, you have a moment where you see it pop back to its original position, and you can't help but think of the way that Billy Duncan reset himself in the bathroom. You see it reach up with its staccato movement and press a long, gangly hand. And you see that come into all of the black particles of the static sort of coalesce there. And you can see the white particles run to the mouth and split into a wide smile. And then it flickers. And you feel as if it's getting closer to you. As if this figure is moving into the very room you stand in. And it takes its hand off the glass, and taps on it, and presses the glass as if pointing at all of you.
She pushes Billy out of the room.
You hear... Almost heard it, didn't you? In the same voice you heard Kevin use, but also it sounds like O'Rourke, and also it sounds like Kimberly, and also it sounds like Billy Duncan. Billy looks at all of you as you stand in shocked silence. He says, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
She
Oh,
body
that's
checks him
remarkable.
out of the room. She body checks him out of the building.
You go to roll. You go to push him out of the room, and that's where our nice little corruption bar comes in. You slam into him with all the force that a 14-year-old girl can muster, and it's like you ran into a brick wall. And you saw his abs, and they weren't that impressive.
She would have peaked.
You saw him a little bit. They weren't brick wall impressive, but you slam into him, and he doesn't move an inch.
She probably
And
trips and falls over.
As you fall over, you watch as his body goes rigid, and you see all of his muscles tense up, and all of you watch as his eyes open a little too wide, and then his eyeballs sort of flutter back as if passing out or having a seizure, and his eyes roll towards the back of his head. And everyone who rolled success on that investigation check, you see an upside down red triangle shape on the backs of both of his eyes. The triangle is upside down, and it seems to fade as it gets closer to the tip. JoJo, something about this symbol is very familiar to you in a way that makes you very uncomfortable. You don't know why, but you recently saw several symbols that kind of filled you with unease, and this symbol feels like part of that set. It's not one of the ones you've seen before, but it feels like it belongs with this group. What do you all do in this moment?
Just to remind me, Mike, what did the TV say?
Almost
You almost heard it?
Yep.
Jojo looks at Billy and looks back at the TV. Is the TV all static, or do we still see the
You still see the
thing
figure.
in the TV. He looks at Billy and then looks at the TV. Says, "Are you controlling him?"
You hear in that same all voice sort of speak. You gave him back. We made him real. Let him stay.
Hey, where?
You hear the thing respond in your exact voice. Stay where?
Where are we?
Where you've always been.
There's never been a radio rack where I've been.
There's always been a radio rack. And he is now speaking in all of your voices. To include Rossi, Shane, John.
And what did we almost hear? What do you think we nearly heard?
The sound. The sound. For a second, it sounded like it was going to say more and cut itself off.
And that's a bad thing?
You should never hear the sound. It'll
He
be the
looks at
last
the
sound
others.
you hear.
Where's it from?
Everywhere, nowhere. It's the last sound you make, or the last sound you hear. Fish. Something, as you look up from the floor, something is weird about the back of Danny's head.
Oh my god.
Oh, not Danny's head, sorry, Billy's head. Danny's
Okay.
head. Danny, you're fine.
You can kill me, Mike.
Danny, you're fine. Chill out.
Okay, something
It
different
looks as
with
though a
Billy's head.
piece of his like long hair is sort of ruffled.
She gets up. Does he? Oh, so did he fall over, or
Nope,
is he
he's
just
standing
standing there?
stark rigid with his eyes rolled back in his head.
She will go and look, and she looks fucking terrified.
It looks as though something is the way you kind of like ruffled his hair to like check. It looks as though there's something stopping his hair from falling back into place. And as you stand up and look,
She will check.
you kind of like move to it, and it's one of those things where like you can't really see it, and then you do. It's almost like looking through glass or like an icicle, that there is a long line running back from the back of Billy's head to the point of the finger in the TV.
Ew! And sorry, what did this thing say? Let him stay?
Yeah. It said you gave him back. What did it say? You gave him back. We gave him something. Let him stay.
We gave him
Life.
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 Was it we made him real?
Yeah, that's what it was. We made him, you gave him back. We made him real. Let him
Oh,
stay.
real.
I don't understand. What do you want?
A path forward.
To what?
Where you are.
Oh no. So Is he part of you now?
I'm part of him.
Do we know which chorus member, I guess, we released?
I think. Well, you guys tell me. I think only JoJo knows that he let something in. If I'm not mistaken.
He did say, "I think something's coming."
Yeah.
Do
you don't know
which
what
one?
it was.
Okay.
You don't know the names of them. I mean, you know the names of what you heard from the weird chants you
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Fish wants to try and break this connection. Does anyone have a problem with that?
Do it.
Yeah, go for it. Everything is
I
weird
do
and
have
scary.
Go ahead. What?
Jojo's going to ask one last question. And his only question is, if he stays, does that allow you to be closer to here?
An unnaturally long pause in this moment. And then in the voice that only, in two voices that only you recognize, for now, it responds back. The voices of your parents. I'm always close.
Mm.
Fish.
And Fish is making like she's like her hand is like in this weird connection, like so like the others know what she's going to do, but she's like
Fish.
waiting. Yeah.
You have a couple of options here. You can, with a number of successful rolls, depending on what happens, you can remove the connection from Billy to whatever this is, but risk the life of whatever Billy is. Or you could sever the connection, leaving Billy alive, but possibly still having a piece of this thing in him.
Can I see how it's connected into his head?
It's just touching him. Doesn't seem like you can move him, but it's just touching him.
Jeez, I don't know. I think she would want to. I really don't know, because we don't have the other pieces to whatever puzzle, right? Like we don't know anything about what's happening with the other things in the tubes. You know what I mean?
Those could all be visions of the past.
Yeah, her instinct is to remove it
and risk the death of the re-death of Billy Duncan.
Does she know that? Like you're telling me, would she know that?
You know that this is dangerous, and that if you rip this thing out of him, that's what it could be bad. If you chop it, essentially, you'd still leave a piece hanging.
Oh man, I don't want to.
You also heard the horror story from JoJo of what
came out of him.
Well, no, JoJo ripped the cords out, and what happened when he ripped the cords out.
Remind me what happened when he ripped the cords
He
out.
killed Billy Duncan.
Okay.
He
died.
Died.
He ripped the cord out of the machine, and that kid died.
Yeah, but that.
If Fish wants some months of trauma.
Yeah.
I
Months
mean, we
of
ripped the
drama,
cords
and,
out.
he burned his house down.
Rip the cords out and topple the whole like tank on its
Yeah.
side. I mean,
But-
we did a lot of shit.
Yeah, but one could argue that wasn't really Billy Duncan.
One could
It's probably more than this Billy Duncan.
argue.
One can argue that none of this is real. That this is what happens. That we're in some in between space where this entity wants to come into the world. Hence, all the worlds are colliding. Not to be too much of a musical fan, but it seems like we are in some kind of shift pocket place where everything that can happen happens.
Yeah, okay, maybe she's not gonna go to remove it. Can I know what the role is, or is that too much?
Well, it depends. Are you going to remove it, or are you going to sever it?
Fuck. Okay, I think I really don't want to risk his life. The whole point was to help him. So I think she's going to sever it, because that was my first instinct to go with before you gave me two options.
Okay.
Was that she was gonna snap, because it was like a glass string, you described it, right?
Yeah.
She's going to try and snap it.
Okay. There is no roll.
Okay.
I simply have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is Jordana Fisher's most traumatic memory?
Oh, her mom dying.
You grab the pieces of this strange static, and you touch it. It feels the way it feels when your limbs fall asleep. You remember being at home in California with your father. You remember cars you don't recognize pulling into the driveway. You remember a sturdy knock on the door, men in suits, an envelope, a flag, a shirt, a medal, a conversation, but the words seem far away, warbled, distant. You remember the look of sad stoicism in the eyes of your father as he turns around, already red, as he leads you to a table, sits you down with the items, and explains what was just told to him. And in the instant you hear this, you feel every emotion well up inside you. And all you want to do is scream. And right before you scream, you forget that memory in its entirety. And the line snaps. Billy Duncan's eyes roll forward. He stumbles towards the rest of you, turns towards JoJo, and says, you were trying to save me. I saw it. In all the other places. You never let go. And then he collapses to the ground, unconscious. The TV static fades away, and the TVs turn off. Billy Duncan's chest moves up and down. He breathes, albeit unconscious, as the four of you stand, having saved a life. And I think there is where we end this episode of Glenbrook Chronicles. the boy who wasn't.
Shit. So what we don't see is the cut him, see if he bleeds.
That is the end of this episode of Glenbrook Chronicles. This was a good one. This one had a spicy ending here. Very fun. Very fun. So I'll give it out here. As players, now that the curtain has fallen, the entity in which you just entreated was the sound before a screen.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing at.
The last sound you'll make, or the last sound you'll hear. The sound before a screen. Yeah, that is it for this episode of Glenbrook Chronicles, The Boy Who Wasn't. Let's go around, do our introductions so we can get out of here, do our after show, do our Stars of Wishes. You guys can see that on the Patreon, just like these folks here. That's the best way to support us. Go check us out over on patreon.com/unMadeGaming. Link in the description down below. Join us over there. Join us at the $5 tier to get access to this after show and all the other after shows for the Glenbrook Chronicles, definitely not a campaign show, and all the other campaigns we definitely do here. But for now, let's start with... I feel like the most traumatized at the table. We'll start with G. G, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Only slightly traumatized. Hi, I'm the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in all things unMadeGaming, modding for regular streams and for playing on all the Patreon stuff, including the one-shots, which is today, the two campaigns, The Rise with Chris and Mundus Novus tomorrow with Melissa. And you can find me in the Discord all the time.
Hell yeah. Going by my line of reasoning, I think the second most traumatized person, Chris, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I'm Chris. I'm not traumatized. We should have killed Billy. And in The Rise with G, you can also find me in the Discord. Just a reminder, there are spaces at the Capo tier in the Patreon, so you can join us on these games every month.
Hell yeah. Third most traumatized, both for Eldritch Horror and for boys. Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I don't think Dee Dee's traumatized. I don't think that's possible. But we'll talk about where I am.
Something to strive to.
I am up all night with insomnia, painting fan art for unMadeGaming stuff, which you can find on gameswithstories.com. And I play awesome games. I have the privilege of playing a lot of fun games with Mike and with this awesome crew. And it really is a joy. That's me.
Hell yeah. And I think somehow, nearly unscathed, the least traumatized person, Iquin, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Well, hello, I'm Iquin. I mean, as a player, I am very unscathed. I'm with Necro on this one. We should just have killed Billy Duncan. I mean, Danny might have other thoughts. He might be more traumatized than you think, but more traumatized for seeing Dee Dee almost falling to her death and we're like seconds away from not catching her, which would have been very traumatic. But then again, I mean, Billy is traumatic in a way for Dan as well. He was there when we China accidentally killed him. But anyhow, not here nor there. I run the Mastodon thing, so if you want to do a tryout and toot, I can toot back at you. Otherwise, I'm in the Discord. I run off-stream games of Call of Cthulhu, so if you like the horror that Mike brings, I have a slightly different flavor, but still horrors, where I run there. And I think that's pretty much it. That's where you can find me.
Yeah, hell yeah. Definitely go check out Iquin's Eldritch Horror. He killed me, but I don't hold that against him.
And me.
That's true. Actually, to be fair,
I actually think I killed everyone except Nick. Right?
To be fair, I died in Iquin's game, but Chris killed me. Actually, I think it was G. G killed me.
G killed you.
No,
I gave G the No, you were like in witch mode, and I gave G the choice. Do you take the shot? And she got a free, no rolls, just make a decision. Do you shoot him or not?
Yeah. And then you died. So go
Yep.
check out.
I try to kill you.
Yeah, that's true. You did on
Yeah.
every episode. If you like character death, go check out some of Iquin's games over in our Discord in the Looking for Group section. But that's it from us. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do our after show and talk about all of the traumatic events that just happened in this episode. So go over to our Patreon, get access to that here in the next couple days when I upload that shit. But for now, that's it from us. We'll see you guys next time. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.